Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Martell and Maurice tag teaming Melody Shari. In my opinion, I feel like they've decided to team up to come against Melody. It's almost like trying to form an alliance to come against Melody, but it ain't gonna work. And I have a lot to say about it. I also want to say how it ain't working because Martell still exposed you, Maurice. So it ain't working. We are so smart that we're watching this and we're seeing you, Maurice, for who you are. You want to gaslight the audience to make it seem like Mel is the problem when you are sitting in front of Martell and talking crap about Melody and making it seem that she's bitter and all these things. It's like you're trying to gaslight us. You then say that Melody would not have been famous without Martell and making it seem like Melody made Martell or Martell made Melody, is nasty work. Okay, so let's talk about it. But before that, if you're new to this channel, I do commentary on Love and Married Huntsville, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine, and some other shows. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I also do celebrity news here and there, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Or any news to do with any of these reality stars, so hit that subscribe button. Also, everyone, please like, share, and don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, let me give my disclaimer. Everything I say in this video is alleged, in my opinion only, and for entertainment purposes. Now, let's get into it. I am tired of Maurice. I knew I was fed up and tired of him before, but now it's becoming even more obvious. So, just to give you some context for those who may not have watched the show, Maurice came over to visit Martell. And it was like Maurice was trying to hold him accountable for the scene that happened at the park between Marceau and Martell. Funniest part of it is it was clear that Maurice was walking on eggshells. Maurice does not want his business out, so Maurice was clearly sucking up to Martell in this scene. It is so obvious. Anyone that really has eyes can see it for exactly what it is. Maurice was trying to also, it was almost like humanize Martell in some way. Maurice was basically saying that he feels like they've been having issues since the company that they had together, Scout, broke up. And that he feels like since then they haven't really been able to bounce back in relation to their friendship, i.e. Marceau and Martell. And I personally feel like it's all in a bid to try to humanize Martell, because this man stood in your face and was talking smack about your brother and his wife. And it's like the fact that you're still sucking up to him and making it seem like, oh, he's not really at fault. And, you know, he's only being emotional because he's upset about the breakdown of the company. What does that have to do with anything? It is clear that Maurice is clearly trying to gaslight the audience. He is trying to gaslight us, and it's not going to work because we saw what the beef was about. This did not have anything to do with Scout. Why are you bringing this into the equation? Of course, Martell doesn't really budge on that and basically says he doesn't feel a way about it. But Maurice still goes on about it in his confessionals, trying to say, you know, it was a company they once had together. And so every time he sees the name Scout, he has to feel some type of way about it, even though Martell says he doesn't care. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Even if Martell may have felt a way about it, that is not what we're talking about this second. We are talking about Martell being disrespectful towards Tisha and calling out Marceau. That's what we're talking about here. So I don't know how Scout got into the mix. So Maurice carefully, and I say carefully because he was dancing around it. I watched that particular scene a few times because it was clear that he was just dancing around it. And he was like, you know, when he's angry, he sort of brings out anything. And there is no limit to what Martell does when he's angry. Of course, Martell is out here trying to defend himself and say, like, you know, usually it's rare for him to fall out with anybody. And whatever happens is always the other person's fault. I'm like, you see, This is a man that does not take accountability. He's never taking out accountability for the demise of his relationship with Melody. What makes you think he's going to take accountability for a breakdown of a friendship? But you guys allow him to disrespect Melody always, at any time, regardless. And then now that it's not fun when the rabbit's got the gun, can we really be surprised that Martell is saying if he falls out with somebody, it's always their fault? Of course not. This is who he is. But I feel like it's either people intentionally choose to not believe it, or they are completely delusional, or both. But whatever the case may be, I feel like Martell has shown us enough for us to know how Martell rolls. I feel like there's so much that could have been said in that episode, on that scene, but wasn't talked about. I feel like Maurice did not really hold Martell accountable because he knows that Martell knows things about him and he doesn't want them to come out. So he will continue to dance around things and make it seem like Martell is innocent and everybody is blowing up and this is what brothers do. But he cannot hide under that forever, because Martell is not going to be quiet forever. All it takes for Maurice to do something that he doesn't like, and Maurice is going to be in trouble. Let's be clear, Maurice is already in trouble, because with that interview, Maurice was already in it. Maurice took a stray, because that interview with the side chick, allegedly, also exposed Maurice. It exposed Maurice and Moso for being nasty brothers, allegedly, okay? If what the side chick says is to be believed. Now, I want us to shift gears a little bit to what Maurice had to say about Melody. Now, here's the thing. Maurice starts off talking about Melody confronting him about the DUI, and that he feels like she was going around telling people stories and narratives, and that she is doing what she did to Martell. And I'm like, Maurice, you are a disgusting son of a F. And I don't even curse. But I felt like I had to say that. Because how disgusting, how low, how vile do you have to be to make it seem like Melody is going around spinning a narrative about Martell when she doesn't really even talk about Martell? All she talks about is her defending herself in respect of something he has done or said. Was it Melody that told Martell to try to release revenge P out on her? Was it Melody that told Martell to be out here trying to or hit his children or child, if we're being specific, Tank? No, he did that on his own. So for Maurice to say, knowing fully well that we know that they knew about the revenge P before other people did, is disgusting, low vibrational behavior. And he starts speaking on who she was and talking about, yeah, Mel used to be so bubbly and stuff, and he just feels like she was just trying to project on him. I'm like, what is she trying to project on you? Were you not arrested? Like, why are we acting like we're trying to rewrite a history that didn't happen? Like, it really bugs me when I see people who try to lie and rewrite history. You were arrested. Yes or no? So what are we talking about? What narrative is she trying to spin? Maurice also gives us the crap that he has given grace to Mel over the years because he knows that it wasn't her dream to basically be divorced. He also has the audacity to say that she's only famous because of what Martell has done for her, and he understands how important image is to her. I'm like, the fact that you can open your mouth and say things like this is beyond low to me. And this is why they will all get what they deserve. Because the fact that you can continuously be attacking a woman that has done nothing to you on that level and expect that there won't be repercussions, even if she doesn't do anything to you. God has a way of vindicating his people and protecting his people. So if you keep coming at people that God loves and cares for, you will get the consequences of your actions. And so that's why, despite what Martell is doing to you guys, I'm not, at this point, I don't even care. It's all fair game. Let's see Let's see how fun it is for Martel to be trolling y'all, because you guys say things like this. The Scots always downplay Melody's achievements. They downplay everything that Melody has done. If we sit down and be honest, if Martel was so-called the brains behind the operation, why hasn't he applied those same brains to himself? Why hasn't he? The same formula should work, so why can't he just replicate it? The fact that he's not replicating it tells you everything that you need to know. I feel like Maurice is trying to paint this narrative that Melody is projecting, Melody is hurt, Melody is not happy, Melody is not bubbly, Melody is bitter, because he feels like if he projects that image, then he's going to trivialize anything that comes out of Melody's mouth in respect of him. He is going to make it seem that nobody can believe anything coming out of her mouth because she's projecting. She wants everyone to be a cheater because her ex-husband was a cheater, when that is not the reality. Let's not act like Martel doesn't continuously say that you guys be cheating and you guys were doing things together. Why are we singling Melody out and bringing that up? It was clear that he was trying to team up with Martel against Melody. You wanted to dispatch Martel to run and attack Melody the way he normally does for you. And I think that's what Maurice was doing. Maurice was playing Martel like a fiddle. He was just there like telling him all these things. Luckily, well, we don't know if Martel said more and it was edited out, but I would say luckily Martel didn't really say too much. But it was clear what Maurice's purpose was. Get Mel by any means necessary. Get Martel to get Mel. That is what I believe that he was doing. He knows Martel is obsessed, and he feels like all he needs to do is put a little battery in Martel's back, and Martel would be pointing the pow pow at Melody instead. That's what he wanted to do, but it failed. Instead, guess who Martel is pointing the pow pow at? Marceau. And it may get to Maurice soon, because Maurice was saying in the flashback with Kimmy that Melody and Martel have learned that they don't need proof. Instead, they can just say whatever they want to say. So if Martel takes offense to that, it will only get worse. And he will now point the pow pow at Maurice too. Because it's clear they're all acting like they ain't no proof, he ain't gonna bring no proof. And now he's like, I got it. I can bring the proof. So I guess we're going to hear and see all about it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll speak to you guys in the chat. See ya. Bye.